Perplexing times for a new beekeeper. Stay tuned and I'll explain more what's happening in the Homestead bee yard. Welcome to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. We're in the apiary here at Pine Meadows. The bees are busy eating. I managed to go ahead and place the feeders in the hive entrances. Now, when I was out here yesterday, I discovered something. So with a momentary break in the weather, we've got the sun shining, it stopped raining, it's warm enough, the bees are out in a frenzy collecting more food for their hives. When I came out yesterday, I inspected this hive right here and I found out that there's no bees in it, but I'm going to crack it open this morning and get a better look. Because I'm afraid that swarm I found the other night wasn't a swarm at all, but it was actually an absconding from this hive. So I've got to inspect if there's any brood and baby bees left that were too young to fly, and also try to determine why they left. So let's take a peek. I'm also concerned about the hive on the end. There doesn't seem to be too much activity coming for the comings and goings on the entrance. So we're going to crack that one open too and check it out. Okay, there's no bees on the top. None at all. I don't see any bees in this upper chamber. We're going to take it off. I see comb built out, but I don't see any activity in there. Empty. A little build out. So this hive was weak. I should not have put that extra lid on there. Empty. A little bit of build out. Now this is a wax base foundation. The other ones were black plastic. Empty. Oh, there's a queen cell right there. Unopened. So far, everything's empty. They left because they had no food and I was feeding them. Yeah, this hive is like they left and then the bees came in and cleaned it out. Everything's empty in here. Empty. Empty, empty. Not a good sign. So this hive is completely cleaned out. There's no brood, there's no honey, there's no pollen, there's nothing. All the frames are cleaned out. So this is a useless hive, but it gives me potential to do some splits next year, on which I plan to get some splits done. Okay, I'm concerned about this one. This is where the swarm was, right here on the back. So I'm going to break this one open, look at it. We're going to take the front feeder off. Alright, let's take this off. Let's give it a good inspection. Well, we got bees on top. That's a good sign. No queen on the lid. They don't have much of a buildup on top. I want to put those frames closer together though. Okay, this is where I'm interested in. Is down below here. Okay. Alright, we got a good pattern right there. A lot of bees. Okay, that's not too bad. Put the lid back on. So this hive seems to be doing okay. I'm gonna fix this entrance feeder though. These other two hives look really, really good. So I'm not gonna do too much with them except for fix this hive entrance. I'm gonna go ahead and fill that one up that's on the shelf to discourage any robbing that might be going on. So that's interesting. That hive that was that red flowered hive there, that was a split of one of the original swarms that Ken brought over, and then he purchased a queen and we introduced a queen to that split. We did that on my birthday, and then that whole hive absconded, and I'm hoping that swarm that I got and that I gave to Ken was actually came from that hive. So he got his queen that he purchased for me back, and he got a split from the original swarm that he picked up for me. So either way, it's a win-win, and I have an empty hive for in the springtime. Actually, I have 2 boxes I can add, expand if I need to, for accommodating more splits, because if I open those hives and I see some queen cells, I'm going to take advantage of those and create some splits. So when bees take off and leave a hive empty like that, that's called absconding. And when a partial amount of the bees take off with a queen and leaving a queen, that is called a swarm. And swarms, if you find them out on a tree branch or hanging around someplace, they are pretty docile. They're not aggressive at all. They won't deliberately come out and sting you. Because they have no brood to defend, and they have no honey stores to defend. So that's an interesting thing that I discovered in my bee yard. Learning beekeeping is taking me some time because I'm not taking advantage of the local extension offices or the local beekeepers associations. I have my reasons. It's quite the journey, the trip to get to where they have the meetings. So I rely heavily upon questioning my friend Ken, who is now an apprentice beekeeper, and he is in the Master Beekeepers programs at the University of Montana and the University of Oregon. So he's coming up with a lot of good information for me, as well as my own research that I'm finding on my own, researching bees and to try to become a successful beekeeper, and also to understand bee behavior. So beekeeping is not for the faint of heart. It does take some hands-on. Not so much hands-on. I mean, keeping chickens is a lot more hands-on than keeping bees. But I mean, the rewards are great. It's a hobby for me. If you're going to do it for commercial purposes, my recommendation is to get into a master beekeeper program so you're understanding what you're doing for your own success. So this is yet another example of a failure on the homestead. Wow, you learn from your mistakes, don't we? I want to thank you guys for joining me, and stay tuned for more videos. They're forthcoming. You can do that by subscribing if you're not subscribed already. That way it gives you an alert that new updated videos are now online. You can find me on social media. I am on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Reddit, Google+, and I finally figured out how to get videos on Instagram, so check me out there on Instagram now too. We'll see you guys in another video. Bye-bye.